TV Guide calls it the all-time best morning show. What a difference today makes.
It's a little-known fact that KARE-11 is having a Cheers Pick, Watch, and Win contest. Anyone could win, even Normie. Pick up an official entry at Rainbow Foods. Describe your favorite Cheers show and drop it in the good old U.S. mail. Then watch KARE-11 on the week of May 17th to see the top 6 shows. You could win a Sony TV or a trip for 4 to Boston and a shopping spree at Filene's basement. I could take my best girl.
Clifford.
What's so great about the Minnesota School of Business and Globe College of Business?
I'll tell you what's great.
I'll tell you what's great.
All it took was one phone call.
I'm a graduate of the Business Administration program and Vice President for Tires Plus stores. We hire Minnesota School of Business and Globe College graduates.
Find out what's great about the Minnesota School of Business and the Globe College of Business. A career in business administration, sales and marketing, and retail management is waiting for you. Call today, 924-3300.
Cheese Whiz cheese spread has 1/3 less fat than butter or margarine. Pretty big news, huh? But will your kids like its great taste on broccoli instead of butter? I'll take that as a yes. Proof once again that Cheese Whiz makes it marvelous with 1/3 less fat than butter.
After selling his house, the new owners dug up his garden and his missing wife. The Secret in the Garden on hard copy.
Wednesday at 4:30 on KARE-11.
KARE-11 and HealthSpan invite you to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Health Fair 11. This weekend, May 1st and 2nd, we'll focus on healthy hearts. You can pick up a self-scoring test to see if you're at risk. Call the connection for the site nearest you.
Catch a sneak peek at the new Dana Carvey on the next entertainment night.
My guests today are all familiar faces to anyone who watches TV because they starred in some of our favorite shows. From 2 to 7, we're going to meet Marla Gibbs and Elena Reed Hall. From the Waltons, we'll talk to Judy Norton and Eric Scott. And from Little House on the Prairie, we've got Allison Arngrim and Dean Butler. But you know, the Waltons and Little House were such sweet, nicey, nice shows. This is going to be kind of like a church social, you know, with all those polite goody two-shoes. Hi, kids.
Give her some space, will you?
Oh, back off, bitch. For heaven's sake.
Nice dye job. What happened to that nice tacky gray wig you used to hide behind?
The wig is fake, but the big butt is hers.
Well, I don't know what to say.
How about... Gotcha!
Oh, gotcha. Very funny. Oh, gotcha. I want to take you out for old America and beat the crap out of you. You guys, do you know what my best girlfriend used to say in high school? A standing ovulation. How excited they are to see you all. Isn't that nice?
That's lovely.
Hey, you know what I want to talk about, and we have to talk about, because I sort of did it too, is growing up in front of America on TV. And how hard was it? It was so hard. Now, not everybody at once. How hard was it, really? Did you miss your childhood?
Well, from where I came from, I didn't really know any different. I had been acting since I was 5, 6 years old when I started in commercials. So I was always in television, and my brother was in television, and my parents were actors. So it seemed a perfectly normal thing to do to me.
It's all you've ever known.
Kind of
How
frightening.
old were you when you got on
Little House? 11. I was 11 years old.
11 until when?
I was about 19 when I finished doing it, and then I came back for Guest Shot when I was 21, and by then it was Little House in New Beginning.
But you do tell a wonderful story about making all this money and having your bank account and being in the highest tax bracket in the country.
And there are no deductions when you're 12. What can you buy? You can't buy any real estate. You can't really do anything.
Don't have dependents, God willing.
No, there's no dependents.
No.
And I got a checking account when I was 13, but I couldn't get a driver's license to cash my checks with.
This could be a big problem.
And then I couldn't get a credit card until I was 18.
Because you weren't old enough.
Right. So it's a little tough.
boy, you know, now, are you really a bitch?
Yes.
Because you I mean, you really were
you see
just
people
the
want me.
consummate bitch on that show, weren't you?
It was true. I was the Prairie bitch. There was
Little bitch on the Prairie.
See, basically for 7 years, I was sort of the living embodiment of PMS. And there was no Midol in the 1800s, so it was just, I was doomed. But I find out it's like people want me to be a bitch. It's very strange. I'm actually a very nice person. I swear, I have witnesses.
She
but
is.
thank you.
No, she is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. I didn't think it would ever happen. I didn't.
Now, how so? You were older.
She was just out there. As
Now,
a
how
kid.
old were you when you came to
I was
Little House on
23, so I was.
You were an
I
older,
was an adult.
wiser
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I was paying taxes right away, and I had some deductions. But no, I was just, you know, I was so stunned walking into the situation with all of these kids who were, they were just these pros.
Pros.
Amazing pros. Yeah.
Did they just whoop your butt?
Oh, it was just unbelievable. I actually did have a little bit of a tough time because I was, as much as I was 8 years older than Melissa, I was, and this one, I was just grilled by them because I didn't have all the savvy that they had.
He was the new guy. We were vicious.
Now you say, I'm sure you were. You say that they had all the savvy, and yet you gave Melissa her first on-screen kiss, yes?
No, that
or was it her first kiss altogether?
I couldn't vouch for that. Could you? Do you know?
What?
Whether it was the first
Was
kiss?
it her
couldn't have been the
first
first
kiss?
It
Couldn't.
was.
You think it was really?
Seriously, it was.
Not bad.
How'd it go? I mean, how did it go?
There were, God, her mother was there, and the agents and the managers and the NBC publicity people, and it was, there were people just, her mother was sobbing off camera as this was happening. I mean, you'd think I was hauling her away somewhere and doing something else. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure.
How'd she do?
How'd she do?
Was she again the consummate professional, or did you have to lead her through it, or
no,
what happened?
she was very good.
Yeah?
She was very good.
Pretty impressive for the first kiss, huh?
Yeah, pretty good.
Dean's first kiss, too.
That's right.
I guess so, yes. Well, yeah. How about you guys? Did you miss your childhood?
Oh, I think we were very similar to what Allison was saying in that I know I started when I was about 6.
Yeah,
acting.
I started when I was 7. So
Yeah.
I started in modeling, and then
really pros.
I don't know if people remember the Hot Wheel commercials and the Sizzlers. The little red-headed kid, that was usually me that watched the Hot Wheels drive by, and then went to movies and went on.
So what was teenage life like on Walton Mountain? I mean, what was
Well,
it?
we had a school that we all went to. We
It
had
was like
2
a
to 3
fishbowl.
teachers.
We had like the Waltons Mountain School trailer.
Right.
And we'd be sitting there doing our homework, and all of a sudden we'd look up. We'd get the sense that someone was watching us, and we'd look up, and there'd be a whole tour standing outside going, oh, there they are, they're going to school. We'd be, it was...
Now, did you did school on the set, then did you go back to a real school during any part of the year at all?
Yeah.
And how was it to be a Walton kid and go back to real school? Because you guys...
The worst.
I mean, now let's flashback for us to like what was on TV and what was hot when you guys were on the air.
We came on up against Mod Squad and Flip Wilson.
Right, and now you
And
remember
back
the
then,
Waltons.
if you remember, Clarence Williams' hair was like this.
Right.
And all of a sudden we came out and we had to have the bowl cuts. So we were not fitting in with the rest of the people back in the early 70s.
It was not hip to be square.
No.
No.
People made pretty much fun of us.
But it was just a monster hit. Yeah. But when you go back to school, everybody would give you a hard time?
Yeah, we were basically in the center of the attention that we would have, and I did go to college at nighttime later on, so you can continue your education, but it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, they'd want to get to be friendly with you, but you didn't want to really become too close to them because you'd be back in production within 3 months. So you keep a distance. You have a job to do, which is basically to go to school, and you get it done.
They're so professional.
No, I just found they made fun of us. I'd go back and they go, where's John Boy? You'd be walking down the halls, and that was what I heard all the time. And nobody wanted to admit that they watched the Waltons because it wasn't cool.
Yeah,
but
right.
Everybody seemed to know all about it. They'd tell you all about the episode the night before that they thought was really stupid.
Yeah, I understand. The other thing that would just crack me up was that, and I never really even thought about it, but there were no braces on the Prairie either. Right. And you girls went
we
through
had
hell
have our
trying to get your teeth fixed.
Yeah, because Melissa, she had more the overbite, the standard kind of buck teeth thing, and I had the what? This is cool. This is nice of me to say this, but I had worse. I had even worse. I had vampire fangs. It was like my eye teeth. They just like would not come down. So I mean, I had teeth pulled and the braces. We both had tons of metal. And I mean, we're setting off detectors in airports with this stuff, but we couldn't show it on camera. So what we would do is, part of the year they would take off like the front stuff and leave in the back. So we wore a lot of the night, you know, gear. And then we had orthodontist wax, which they usually give you, you know, to cover it so you won't cut your mouth. But we would jam it onto the lower teeth and up here so it would cut the shine. So you never saw our braces, but most of the show, Melissa Gilbert and I both had braces during the entire run.
And it probably took you 12 years to get your teeth straight.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Now, you know what? We did a takeoff of the Waltons on the Burnett show when you guys were at your peak and you were the most popular show on television, and I thought it might be fun to kind of flash back to an old Carol Burnett takeoff of the Waltons, which we called the Walnuts. Let's look at that.
Good night, Mama Woman. Good night, John Girl. Night, Daddy Man.
Night, John Girl.
Night, Jeremiah Girl.
Good night, John Girl.
Good night, Jasper Girl.
Good night, John Girl.
Good night, Eudora Boy.
Good night, John Girl.
Good night, Clorinda Boy.
Good night, John Girl.
Good night, Grandma Lady.
Good night, John Girl.
Good night, Joe Lynch. I spent most of my life in poverty after that, till I sold this series. And as I have matured and aged and withered, I have often thought back to that day and said to myself, John Girl, what a bunch of dummies we were.
I was just reminding Eric, when we shot The Homecoming, there was a shot of...
Now explain to everybody that Homecoming was the original
pilot
movie.
for the Waltons.
We did that in 1971.
And there was a scene where we're all waiting for Santa Claus to come home, or to come, it's Christmas Eve. And we're also waiting for our father to show up, who's been out working in town. And there's a scene where there's suddenly a noise on the roof, and you get this shot, you see like a bedroom, and all of a sudden, like, heads are popping up. There's about 5 of us sleeping in the same bed, for real. And me and one of the other girls are, like, on the ends, and all of a sudden, it's like you can kind of see across the edge of the bed, and Eric pops up in the middle.
Between the two girls saying,
Santa Claus! We have to take a little break, you guys. We're going to come back and talk some more. And, you know, we have gone from Waltons Mountain to the Prairie, so I think that when we come back, it is going to be time for a little urban reality. So let's bring them out now, just to give you a little taste of what's to come. These are Sisters from the Hood from 227, Marla Gibbs and Elena Reed Hall. Buck naked on Broadway, so don't go away. We'll find out.
Taste it, Grandpa.
He never would have tried this with his old adhesive.
Fix-It-Dent holds stronger than any other adhesive. It even stands up to the hottest liquids. For the strongest hold you can get, Fix-It-Dent and forget it.
You don't cut corners when maintaining the great American home of Henry Ford. The paint these professionals use? Sears Easy Living Interior and Weather Beater Exterior paints. And right now, you can save on paint for your home, like these Easy Living paints. All your choice, just $9.99 a gallon. And these Weather Beater paints, also just $9.99 a gallon. Easy Living and Weather Beater paints for great American homes like yours.
You can count on me.
My daughter said she's too busy to use Old English oil, so
she got me Old English spray. It conditions in practically no time to help prevent drying and cracking.
You're never too busy to give your wood the royal treatment with Old English.
More tea, Daddy?
Sure, honey. Fill her up. A short while ago, Mike Ward had a headache.
But he couldn't postpone his tea party with one of the town's best hostesses. So he took a Motrin IB. The same medicine as in the Motrin doctors have prescribed for years, but in non-prescription strength. And now that his headache's gone, he can concentrate on the things that really matter.
Good tea, huh, Daddy?
It's excellent tea, Becky. Excellent.
Motrin IB, the relief of Motrin in non-prescription strength.
Overwhelming evidence indicates that the cure for the disease of illiteracy is the restoration of intensive systematic phonics in every classroom in America.
Learn to read with Hooked on Phonics, the musical reading program. Then, read to learn with SRA reading comprehension used by over 60 million people.
Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
We just caught a kid spraying paint on the building, and Mary let him get away.
You caught him doing it?
Darn right, and I bopped him in the head for it.
I wish you had been there, Lester.
Yeah, at least he wouldn't have gotten away.
Are you saying you could have handled it better?
Now, baby, come on. Even if I thought that, I wouldn't say it in front of you.
Well, I'll say it. One more minute, Mary would have bought him a suit, kissed him on the cheek, and sent him off to college.
Talking today with Eric Scott and Judy Norton from the Waltons, Dean Butler and Allison Arngrim from Little House on the Prairie. And joining us now are Elena Reed Hall and Marla Gibbs from 227. Now listen, I'm reading about you and reading that you had stage fright. How in the world did you end up being you if you had stage fright?
Well, I always wanted to sing. And they had these little auditions that you come down for, and you were auditioning with these professionals. So I'd run in the bathroom, and I'd practice, and I'd come back. I was number 140 or something. And I'd come back out, and every few minutes, I'd run back in the bathroom. So when it was time for me, you know, they have a little judge there, and he dings the bell. You know, if you're not good, he dings the bell in about two. And he's looking at me.
Doing the Gong Show?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
So I'm looking down at him. He's looking up at me, and he's got the thing like this. And I say, I guess he said this girl is going to have a heart attack. So he never dung the bell. But I knew it wasn't because I was good. I knew it was because he thought I was going to have a heart attack. And then my legs started shaking. I couldn't figure out why the voice started shaking, and I couldn't figure out whose voice it was. I was a nervous wreck. So once I became an actress, and you see I was Florence. So if you didn't like Florence, it had nothing to do with me.
But you just went right from singing and being a nervous wreck to Florence?
Well, no, there were some things in between. Lots of things in between.
Well, I mean, like, what did you do to get over your stage fright?
Well, when I got into acting workshops, which I did when I moved here, when I got into acting workshops, you kind of work all that stuff out on the stage.
Do you?
But you're into a character, and the character has nothing to do with you.
Oh, so you have somewhere to hide.
So, right. You're not asking them to accept you, you're asking them to accept the character. And if they don't, so what? But when you're singing, you're asking them to accept you.
Right.
So when they go, you can't hide.
Yeah. You were the producer and the star of 227, yeah?
I was an exec producer without credit. It came from a play we did in our workshop.
That's a thankless job, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It are. Yes, it are.
How hard is it to do that? Produce and be a star?
Well, being a Gemini, there's about 5 or 6 of us, so it isn't hard for us because each of us seems to think we should have something separate to do.
Yeah. So you didn't find it hard to wear all the different hats and be fun with the cast and then produce over here?
No,
and
I had some place to put this nervous energy. Over here, over there, over there.
Elena, now, we did talk about, we did say that somebody danced buck naked on Hollywood, so we might, I mean on Broadway, so we might as well just say that you did. How did you come to do
hair?
Yeah. A nice little girl.
Hair, nice little girl from Springfield, Ohio. Well, I was in Chicago when I left school with my band, and I got into the production of Hair. And I was raised by my grandmother, and she was one of those staunch Baptist women. So I would always call her on Sundays, and I called my sister earlier in the week. I said, now you explain to Mama about the nude scene. She says, okay, I'll take care of it. So I called her up on Sunday. I said, hi, Mom. She says, oh, it's you. I said, yeah. She says, well, how's the play going? I said, well, it's going good. She said, you know, I just came from church, And you know that gossiping Sister Tolliver? I said, yes. She said, Ruth, how can you let your daughter get up on stage and show her butt like that? Mom looked at her and said, well, at least she's getting paid for it. There's some of y'all out here doing it for free.
All right, Mom! All right, Mom!
Yes.
Did she ever see the production?
No.
No. She never could quite deal with that, huh?
No, she didn't get to see it.
Was it a surprise to you when you got cast in Hair and they said take your clothes off? And
yes, it was, because I was the epitome of the very conservative, attaché case, herringbone suit college girl. And I was a theater major in school. And when I left school and I was with my band, I met Tom O'Horgan, who's a wonderful director. I was exposed to everything. You know, I'm used to waiting in the wings for my cues. But on Hair, you just lay around the stage, you know, you get up and do what you want to do when you want to do it. And it was just something like my eyes were like open.
I guess so.
Yes.
Everyone else's was too.
Yeah, well, at least you've lived to talk about it.
Yes,
though.
I have. I have survived.
The good part. You know what really cracked me up, too, is you were on The Jeffersons, which was such a huge hit for so many years. She gets the role on The Jeffersons. You were working as an airline ticketing agent?
No, I was in reservations on the phone. You didn't see me, but you heard me.
Okay. Now, I bet you didn't let anybody get away with anything on the phone either.
No, I worked for United Airlines, and that was the best place in the world to be at that time, because we just served everybody. If they wanted American, we'd book them on American if they had the nonstop. If they wanted TWA, we gave them the best route. You know, the theory was they would always call us for everything. Then everybody else, somebody came in and said, nobody else does that but us. And then it changed.
Yeah, but you know what cracks me up is you get this great role on this great sitcom and you wouldn't give up your day job.
Well, honey, my grandmother always taught me that a bird in the hand is worth 20 in the bush.
So you're doing Florence at night and you're on the phone with United Airlines during the day. For how long?
2 years.
2 years before you finally decided that you were going to make it as an actress.
Well, before they asked me would I consider leaving the airline, I said, y'all got something to tell me? You haven't told me yet. So they gave me a contract. And I said, yes, but see, there's 52 weeks in the year, and you are
employing me for 28.
7 out of 13.
Oh, 7 out of 13.
And then when it was 10 out of 13, I said, that's still only 20 weeks. You know, so I didn't see any reason to leave. I did try to talk United into letting me work as you know, public relations for them, go around. They didn't quite go for it, so.
Yeah, I would think pretty soon people would start calling and saying, Florence, what the hell are you doing, taking my reservation? That's Florence.
But they always say, you sound familiar.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to take a break, but if you thought Bonanza could not change your life, think again, because one of my guests made a drastic career move after watching an episode. Stick around and I'm going to tell you what happened. We'll be back.
Join our VIP party.
Is this the Playboy Mansion?
When Vicki goes inside the Playboy Mansion for a rare one-on-one with Hugh Hefner.
I wore these just for you.
I think it's wonderful. See how life has gone from wild parties to quiet family nights.
Why, Kimberly?
Very special lady. Take a tour of the super secret world of Playboy.
Wow.
Only on Vicki.
My, how things have changed at the mansion.
We've got lots and lots and lots and lots of chunky sauce. Lots of apples you'll adore. Lots of flavor to the core.
Unlike regular sauces, Mott's Chunky has big slices of crisp apples. Apples like Rome, Macintosh, and Delicious. So it's thick and chunky.
I was angry after my accident, especially since it wasn't my fault. I'm looking forward to going home, but there's still a lot to overcome. I was worried about my medical bills, the loss of my car, and time out of work. That's why I called the law firm of Schwabel, Getz, & Sieben.
If you've been injured in an accident, Schwabel, Getz & Sieben can help ensure you receive acceptable compensation. And there's no fee until your case is settled. For complete recovery, call the law firm of Schwabel, Getz & Sieben.
From the producers of Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat comes Andrew Lloyd Webber's breathtaking new musical sensation, Aspects of Love. Journey on an exquisite exploration of the human heart in this truly engrossing, sensual piece of musical theater, and experience the power of love that will turn your world around and never let you be the same. Aspects of Love. Andrew Lloyd Webber's new hit musical opens June 1st at the historic State Theater. Call Ticketmaster for tickets today.
Love animals? Me too. So why not work at something you love? Be a veterinary clinical assistant and enjoy a rewarding career by caring for animals, like Charlie. Call Globe College or the Minnesota School of Business to get your career started. Receive hands-on training plus other skills to help you find a job fast. Call Globe College or the Minnesota School of Business at 924-3300 and ask about their veterinary clinical assistant program. Do what you love. Right, Charlie?
And lost all my senses, spinning through the town. Oh, good old nature, the fever is, and I wanted to be down.
Talking about life in the spotlight with Walton stars Eric Scott and Judy Norton, Little House on the Prairie stars Dean Butler and Allison Arngram, and my pals from 227, Elena Reed Hall and Marla Gibbs. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a life after you're a child star, and where do you go and how do you grow up and how hard is it? And
well,
you guys are all so quiet when I ask a question.
The open were these, the goody two-shoes kids, I guess,
Well, yeah, and so you try to do what? Play a lot of villains.
You want to. Yeah, you want to play those villains. I've had a few opportunities to play bad guys, which is really fun, which I can understand. You sort of understand why Allison has such a wonderful time when you get to play bad guys.
Yeah,
That's
but
great.
it's hard to break that image, especially when you're so cute.
Well, I played another, with the, the Gidget show was another good, moondoggy, from, I thought that was sort of going from Almanzo to moondoggy. That is an unusual, I've had some unusual names.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to play a John Smith or something.
Yeah, I'd like
Who's a
that.
psychotic killer.
I like that, yeah.
There you go. And Allison, you do stand-up?
I do stand-up comedy. Actually, I started doing stand-up comedy when I was 15, which I think shocked a few people, but not you. But
well, she used to come to work in the most outrageous outfits and then transform herself into this pristine thing with the braids and all that. But some of the stuff she would show up in.
had a problem with purple leopard print spandex?
I gotta tell you.
Grow up, get over it, Dean.
It seemed perfectly normal to me.
Yeah. Judy, you posed for Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like followed you around forever and ever. And
well, you'd think that one job that you did that took all of about 3 days would not be like the one thing that everybody wants to talk about. When I did 11 years of a series and God knows, a ton of other work.
But you did it directly to play against that Walton image,
well,
I'm
every
sure.
manager I had for about 6 years kept saying, we got to change your image, we got to change your image. And I was like, well, okay.
That's the fastest way to do it. All right, let's get it done, for crying out loud. I want to do it. I think Mama Uncovered would be... What the hell? The quickest way to change, don't you think?
Oh,
I can do the gray wig and the dress and just have one little Mama Uncovered.
It'd be kind of scary, but it'd be all right.
It'd be scarier than hell. Hefner's squirming right now. Woo! I don't want to see it.
No playgirl, huh?
Eric, you were deeply depressed after the
Well, I think that after a series like the Waltons, I took a year off and I went, well, what am I going to do? I was 23 and I thought, I started, I worked very well. I did, a couple of episodic shows and some commercials, but I just started watching a lot of TV and eating and watching more TV and eating and watching more TV. And when I got to the point that I was watching Bonanza and I knew Haas's lines better than he did, I knew it was time to go out and do something. So I just decided to go out and get a job, a real job.
What'd you do?
Well, I started driving for a courier company that I've been with for 10 years now, and I'm the vice president of the largest courier company in California. So
good for you. Elena, what are you up to nowadays?
Well, I'm singing.
You have to keep singing.
I have to keep singing. It's very strange. When I was in New York, I did a lot of Broadway shows and a lot of nightclubs, and it was like, oh, you can act? And then when I came to California, I was acting, they go, oh, you sing?
Isn't that, that's the way showbiz goes,
You
isn't
know,
it?
yeah, so I'm doing that, and I've been doing a lot of roles, still sort of like the Rose. I mean, I've started with Sesame Street for 15 years.
Yeah.
And so that image has sort of followed me around. Yeah. And I was playing Nice Person on 227, and then I was playing on Harry and the Hendersons, Miss Hall. What? Did you say something?
Did you hear me say something?
Oh, no, it must have been somebody out there.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was on Harry and Henderson at Miss Hall, and that was a nice role. But I would like to, you know, play bitchier roles. But
that's the word of the day, isn't it? Can't say the secret word.
Thank you for saying that. And we broke the ice, you know.
That is the word of the day. Now, you used to get so into your role that you get jealous of your leading men, true?
Well, we can't speak of these as many roles. This was one movie, which I'd like to do more movies. But this was one movie I got to do, an independent film called Up Against the Wall. And Ron O'Neal was my leading man. And this was a man I loved all along, and I had given him up, and I had this child. He never knew I had the child. This was a drama. And he met this young lady at a party who wanted to come and see the show. And they brought her and they set her on the sofa, on the set. And I was furious.
You were jealous.
It was like I was terribly jealous of this girl sitting there, and he looked at me and he said, "Is there something wrong, Marla?" I said, "Oh, no, no." Then I said, "This is a movie."
But you never felt that way, like about your husband on 227 or anything?
Well, Hal and I did the play 227, and we were husband and wife for 6 months on the play. And then after the play, we would play on the set all the time. So this one liked to come and sit on his lap or something, and then I'd ask him, why was she in our house? Why didn't she go to her own house?
I didn't really have a house. I didn't have a place.
No, you live in the same building, but you live in the same room, pretty much.
I was always in her apartment.
Yeah. Well, this is not what Hal said. You were jealous of him too, basically.
She was.
Is what I heard. Yeah.
She was.
He lies.
No, we got
He lies a lot.
No, you can't beat this guy away with a stick. I'm telling you. He's over here to tell his own story today. The Ball and Chain is back from 227. Hal Williams. I tell you.
Up on me.
Hello. We're going to take a little break now, but stick around because we are going to get the real dirt on what it's like to be married to Marla when Hal's going to tell us all of her secrets. We'll be back. Hey, everybody, call and let me know what you think about my show. And don't hold back. It's bad for your digestive system. Your comments, suggestions, and show ideas are all welcome. Just call 1-900-28-VICKI. That's 1-900-288-4254. Call costs 75 cents, and you must be at least 18 to call.
Shut off the lights, aren't it's a Sears Die Hard, no charge.
Across America, people are witnessing a better approach to car care.
Don't worry, you have the Bridgestone Road Handler warranty package.
Thanks a lot. It's an approach that gives you total satisfaction and total confidence. At Sears Tire and Auto Center, we've brought in the best selection of name brand tires. And our price matching policy means we won't be undersold. We offer the protection of free emergency jump starts with the Die Hard battery, road hazard coverage, and a coast-to-coast warranty on all brake work.
Take it from your dad, Archie. Always bring your car here.
Sears Tire and Auto Center. You can count on me. Driven to satisfy.
Why Massengill? Mother taught me never to go with strangers. Why Massengill?
It's the only one I trust.
Why Massengill?
It's my body, that's why.
Massengill douches. Always first choice.
Massengill, trusted by more women.
I feel much more comfortable now in a bathing suit. The muscles are much more clearly defined.
No one exercise routine can do it all. That's why Buns of Steel introduces the Buns of Steel collection.
The Buns of Steel workouts are carefully designed to be the best
and most effective for firm, sleek buns and thighs and tight, strong abs.
They're really motivating, and they're the kind of thing that you can do all the time.
I lost 2 inches on my stomach and my waist.
Here's what you get. Buns of Steel 3 and Abs of Steel for an amazingly low $29.95. Plus, if you call now, you'll get a free bonus, Legs of Steel. All 3 videos, a $60 value for only $29.95. Call now.
They work for my thighs, my stomach, and you should see my buns.
The Buns of Steel videos will do it for you, too.
To order both videos plus free Legs of Steel, call 1-800-527-6555. Have your credit card ready or send check or money order for $29.95 plus $5.50 shipping and handling to Buns Collection, P.O. Box 70, Department MT, Clinton, Tennessee. Call now.
Archway, the good food cookie, delivered fresh to your store. Taste the difference Archway bakes, and taste the difference freshness makes. Conair's outstanding Euro collection gives you the newest, most sophisticated hairstyling appliances, including Euro 1600-watt dryers, instant heat curling irons, and Wave Maker hair setter.
Oh, Rose, I still don't think we should have let Felix bring her home. After all, what do we know about him?
Oh, Mary's got a platinum Visa card.
Hi, Mary Rose.
Hi.
Say, Mary, what are you doing up this late?
Hi, honey. I just spent a relaxing night out with the girls.
And just exactly where did you relax until 11:30 at night?
Well, at this quaint little place called the Stomping Grounds.
That pickup joint?
How do you know that?
Oh, word gets around.
The stars of the classic TV shows, The Waltons, Little House on the Prairie, and 227. And we just surprised Elena Reed Hall and Marla Gibbs with their 227 co-star, Hal Williams.
Wait a minute. We get to claim him, too, because he was on our show as a semi-regular for several years.
And we didn't even know that when we asked you to come
here.
In fact, we knew him first.
Yeah,
I guess you did.
It was ours first. Come on, Eric, let's go get him. You're coming down here.
I didn't realize you were up on Walnut Mountain.
Walnut Grove or
Walnut.
Yeah, I mean, get it right.
And he was represented in your clip on the Carol Burnett show.
That's right, he was. I just thought that was our nutty sense.
You didn't know who that was popping up out of the sheets?
I saw you. We saw you.
You had that big natural.
What did you play in the Waltons?
Harley Foster. I was married to Verdi Grant. She was on the Walton Mountain first, and I drifted into town one day with my son, and she tried to keep him. And then we got married.
I'll be darned. We didn't even know that. Now, tell us about working with Marla. Did she really get jealous?
Sure, all the time. But I didn't bring my girlfriends on the set. I had better sense.
Yeah? What would she like to work for as a boss?
Hard.
Hard?
You know, well, look, this was my second experience working with 6 female personalities. In Private Benjamin, I had, 6 ladies I worked with. Okay, and this one I had 11.
Yeah, but
because there were 5 other females and 6 Geminis. So, what did you get ready to say, home? Make it nice.
Huh? I said, yeah, but we were 6 black women. That was a little different.
That was very different.
That's even tougher. Now, you call Elena Holmes?
Oh, yeah, because I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and she's from Springfield, Ohio, and that's like a stone's throw down the road.
So did you two ever know each other before?
Before she took her clothes off? No. No, not till we met on 227.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny, though? You guys were all a really close cast, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do the casting, Marla?
I know. I sat in on all the casting and read with all the people.
But you all seem really, really close.
She cast me personally.
Cast me?
How? Why? How?
What?
How?
I was the absolute last person to read for the show.
Yeah.
And when I first met Marla, I came in all dressed up and everything, and she said, well, that was very good, but why don't you go home and change your clothes and sort of relax and come back just a little, looser and stuff. So I did, and the rest is history. And she's my best friend now.
Well, that's nice. Now, Hal, are you married?
No.
Were you ever married?
Sure.
Woo, yes.
Hush. We just got through talking about that.
What? Because I know, I was just reading about you say you can't live without women, can't live with them, can't...
Who said I couldn't live without them?
You are living without him,
I'm
yeah?
living without him very well. Yeah, 10 years now.
Looking?
No, not really. see, one thing that happened on 227.
What are you pointing at there?
This is my ring. I wear this ring on my third finger because it helps a lot when I'm out doing public appearance stuff and everything. But I got into the habit because I wore a wedding ring on 227. And one week, I left it on, didn't give it back to the prop man, right? Mm-hmm. And I went a lot of places, and ladies didn't come on to me. Oh. And I figured out it was that I had on this wedding ring, you know, and with a lot of people, that was no. I mean, there's some people it didn't make any difference, but for the most part, it worked, so I wear it all the time.
So you just wear it all the time, but you just told America that that's the reason you're wearing it, so it probably won't work anymore. Can I ask you guys a kind of a personal question? What happened to Jackie?
What do you mean, what happened to her?
Well, what is she up to now?
I guess she's looking for work like the rest of us.
She's around. She was doing a one-woman play that got great reviews down in, North Carolina?
We ran into the airport a couple of months ago.
She's doing Billie Holiday. She was absolutely fabulous.
Was she?
All my spies told me.
So she wasn't hard to work with?
Not really. No. Jackie was, I thought she was very funny.
She was very funny.
I mean, I didn't think anybody else could do this character like this woman.
No. Oh, no.
Sometimes I would just get tickled. We'd have to stop. She'd get tickled herself, and you'd have to stop because just totally, this Mae West was totally ridiculous sometimes. But it worked.
And people imitated me. They did a sketch on Living Color about 227 on Sunday. So, I mean, she was bigger than life and very good at what she did.
Yeah. And I don't know how this rumor got started, there was a feud, but I think somebody started that in the publicity camp, that there was a feud between she and I, and she went on about these flowers she never got, which all of these people chipped in for, and I ordered her a huge thing of flowers, and we were going to surprise her when she was up for the Emmy, and she had to leave early. And we were all shocked because, you know, we were afraid she wasn't going to get the flowers, but the guy came in and said, oh, I caught her at the car, and gave them to her. And she swears nobody ever acknowledged that she was up for this Emmy. So for the world, and you too, Jackie, you got flowers that I paid for, child.
Ken, you heard it here. Now, listen, you guys, you know, tragedy has a way of touching all of us, but my guests today are going to tell you that it makes headlines when you live in the spotlight, and we're going to talk more about that when we come back. Take a look inside the private world of Hugh Hefner when we tour the Playboy Mansion and meet Hef, his wife, and kids. It's an exclusive on the next Vicki.
How can you tell if your cheese is totally pure?
Well, the taste. It's clean, it's fresh. There's a quicker way.
How's that?
Read the label.
Land O'Lakes Farms, Land O'Lakes milk, Land O'Lakes cheese, as pure as can be. How do you know the cheese you're eating is totally pure? Is it Land O'Lakes? Oh, Land O'Lakes Farms, Land O'Lakes milk, Land O'Lakes cheese, as pure as can be.
Vision World customers talk about why they go to Vision World.
The price at Vision World is great, and the people were wonderful. It's enough to make you want to come back.
The price was within what I consider very reasonable.
It's just amazing. Even with specials from the other places, Vision World was much less.
Vision World, 31 locations, including Brookdale and Southdale.
I think Vision World has great prices. I think I got a great deal.
What impressed me most about Milovitz and Associates was how they responded so quickly, had my best interest in mind, and are very personable. They called on a regular basis to see how I was feeling, if there had been any medical changes that they should be aware of, and just they really got involved personally.
Call Milovitz and Associates at 533-1111 for a free at-home visit to discuss your injuries.
Programmer, information analyst, software developer, software engineer. These are just a few of the jobs filled by graduates of National Education Center's computer programming course. Computer programming is a growing field. As computer use expands, so will the demand for trained programmers. At NEC's Brown Institute campus, we'll teach you what you need to join this exciting field. Shouldn't you call now? There are day and evening classes. There's never been a better time to get started. Call NEC at 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337. Call now.
Care 11 and HealthSpan invite you to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Health Fair 11. Take advantage of the many free screenings. And for a nominal fee, there's an accurate non-fasting screening to determine your total cholesterol. This year, we're also adding theme weekends, focusing on cancer prevention, kids care, and healthy hearts. So visit Health Fair 11, April 16th through May 2nd, and help us celebrate 10 years of bringing quality health screenings and information to your community. Call The Connection for the site nearest you.
Talking today with some of the stars of America's favorite TV shows. And on a little more serious note, a lot of you have been touched by tragedy. Yeah, I mean, as we all are. And first off, I think that you should, three of you are wearing little red ribbons, and you should explain to everybody, first off, what those are for. Allison, would you like to explain?
Yes, the red ribbon, which was started actually in New York with Broadway Cares, the red ribbon symbolizes the fight against AIDS and the support of people who are presently living with HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, and we are desperately in need of a cure, kids. Gotta find it. I suppose everybody knows that you lost your co-star on Little House to AIDS.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it was the guy who played, the guy who finally mellowed out in Ellie Olsen, little Steve Tracy, who played Percival. He died of AIDS in 1986.
And it hit the trades in a big way. It hit the
cover of the Inquirer.
The cover of the Inquirer, and rather than backing away from it, you clearly took a stand.
I've been involved in AIDS for the last, well, it'll be almost 7 years this year. I host a cable show called AIDS Vision. I'm on the Board of Governors of AIDS Project Los Angeles, and I'm also Director of Education Outreach for Tuesday's Child, which assists families with children with AIDS.
How close were the two of you when you were working?
Extremely. I would say Steve Tracy was really my best friend at the time and after the show, which is why it was very hard for me when he got sick.
What did he say to you?
When he was ill? When he told me? Yeah. He called me because he had told me he was sick, and he'd been a little vague about what he had, and then he called me one morning and said, I have to tell you that what I have is I have AIDS because I'm going to go on television tomorrow and tell everyone. And I didn't want you to hear about it that way. And he told me that he had AIDS, that he had been diagnosed.
Now, did everybody assume that you had AIDS? Did you go through that whole mess?
There were people who thought that, because a lot of people, even though he only played my husband, people thought that we were married or that we were having a romance. And there are still people, I think, to this day who may think that I'm HIV positive because of Steve. It's very strange.
You know, it's interesting when an event happens in someone's life, how it can be so transitional. I think the experience that Allison had with Steve was an incredibly life-altering one, just as an observer, seeing how Allison changed as a person as a result of going through this experience with Steve was quite remarkable and dramatic. And she's obviously, it has been so life-impacting that she's dedicated her life at this point to dealing with this disease.
Yeah.
It was very special.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I didn't have to, but that's the way it is.
But we desperately must find a cure. We must. Elena, when last I saw you, there was no Hall on your name. You were Elena Reed, and a lot has happened to you quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah. You were married when?
I was married in 88 and 89. We had two weddings. And to Kevin Peter Hall, very fine actor, 7'2" gentle giant. He played Harry in Harry and the Hendersons, and he was the Predator in both those films. And he also played my husband on 227. That was some of the several last episodes that we did. And I understand exactly what you went through because I went through the same thing.
And worse.
And, but it has made me a better person.
Well, we should tell everybody that you lost him to AIDS.
Yes, lost him to AIDS in 91, April of 91.
Was he HIV positive when you married?
Yes.
So you knew what you were getting into?
I knew. When he told me, I knew. And he was my best friend. We had been friends ever since I came here, and I couldn't leave him. I just couldn't leave him, and I loved him so much, and he taught me so much about myself, and my family loved him, and he loved my family, and we had the best adventure. That's what I set out to do, is just to have the best time that we could possibly have. As a matter of fact, I just got a fax today for the telethon that's going to be on the cable station.
The auction block. Very good.
For April 4th,
I just taped a piece for
well,
them.
you guys, you get those dates, and
Well,
we'll
you have to
talk
come
about
on
it when we
Ames
come
Vision
back,
now.
okay?
Yeah,
We'll take a break, and we'll find out about that
Sure.
telethon.
She's going to
We'll
come
be
on
back.
my talk show. It'll be great.
Sears Brand Central Dishwasher Days. Every dishwasher at Sears is on sale. And just in time for Mother's Day, every KitchenAid, every Whirlpool, every Frigidaire, every GE, and every Kenmore, the best-selling brand in America. Save $20 to $100. And with every dishwasher, you get a certificate for a free gourmet gift basket from Pinnacle Orchards. The savings are terrific, the selection is huge, and the gift basket is free. Hurry to Dishwasher Days, just in time for Mother's Day at Sears Brand Central.
In the hallway! It's the cheesiest! White Cheddar Man!
Not cheese and macaroni man?
I'm new. Kraft White Cheddar Cheese and Macaroni Man.
Join me for lunch, Super Son.
Indeed.
Introducing Kraft Mild White Cheddar Macaroni and Cheese. With lots of mild white cheddar, it's the cheesiest too.
Thanks for lunch, Super Mom. We're off.
We?
Come, Noodle Boy.
Kraft cheese and macaroni, now in mild white cheddar.
People who use plain calamine lotion to relieve itches or poison ivy are easy to spot. But Caladril Clear not only works better to stop the itch, it dries this clear. So nobody will ever spot you. Try Caladril Clear.
How long does Replens relieve the discomfort of vaginal dryness? All day, all night, through the next day and night. Discover the difference of Replens vaginal moisture that lasts for days.
Here's Larry Posen, president of Beltone.
My parents wanted to help people hear better. That's why they started Beltone over 50 years ago. Today, we continue the tradition of helping people at Beltone centers nationwide.
Time and again, people come to us with the same concerns.
I hear but don't understand voices. People mumble.
Beltone's 10-step test will tell you what you're hearing
And what you're not.
Call for this free brochure and a coupon for a free hearing test.
If you do need hearing help, Beltone offers a tiny hearing aid with clear voice. A microcircuit that helps many people by reducing certain background noises.
Choice is clear. If you or someone you love has trouble hearing clearly, come to Beltone. Outstanding technology, professional advice, an American company.
Call 1-800-733-3300 for your free Beltone guide to better hearing and hearing test coupon. 1-800-733-3300.
With the stars of some of America's most popular classic TV shows, and we're talking about these talented people, and we're talking about a little more serious side of them. And Eric, this is hard for me. It's got to be hard for you. You lost your wife really...
17 weeks ago tonight.
Yeah, really recently to leukemia, and you were left with a baby.
2-day-old baby. I think that from our standpoint here, it's just showing that
beautiful, by the way.
She is great, and I want to tell everyone she's doing wonderful, and she's doing everything that a 17-week-old baby should be doing, which is eating and sleeping, and she is just a joy to me. And I think the public has been wonderful, and their love and their support. It's really shown me that a lot of people out there are hurting, and we're not impervious to these pains. I think they always talk about child stars gone bad. Well, we're child stars gone good. And the problems that we have are the same as all of you. So.
Well, I think that the child stars gone bad are the ones that make the, big headlines, and I think that they're far more few and far between. I mean, the fact of the matter is that most of you go on to lead normal, healthy lives,
Right.
But how hard is it now to be a single father? I mean...
People ask me that. I wouldn't even know what a single father is yet. I mean, ask me in about a year. Right now, I'm just going day by day, as anyone would this soon.
Yeah, it's got to be just...
It's a roller coaster
emotionally. An adventure,
emotionally.
is that a good word for it? Who has questions out here? Anybody? Yeah, stand up.
Hi, I would like to ask Allison if there was any competition between her and Melissa Gilbert.
Actually, only friendly competition. No, Melissa Gilbert and I are friends. In fact, she was talking about even coming on here, but she had to go out of town. I spoke to her right before I came on this show. We enjoyed beating each other up. We really had a thing. We could just grab each other and start punching, and we knew we wouldn't hurt each other. It was like being like sisters. I mean, we would compete, but we knew it was like, okay, this is your territory, and this is my territory, and we had it down.
It was just poor Dean that got stuck in the middle of all of it. You know how that, you have a sister?
Yes, I do.
Well, you know how that goes then. We have to take a break, but we'll be back with more.
The Twin Cities have gone mad for plaid. Forever Plaid, that is, now playing at Hay City Stage on Seven Corners. The Star Tribune says it's a sparkling musical review that'll charm your socks off. What do you think of Forever Plaid?
Oh, I loved it.
It was tremendous.
It was great.
Hilarious.
Great memories, great memories.
Out of this world.
Oh, it was incredible.
Oh, we had a great time. We're going to come back.
I'm a Forever Plaid junkie.
Forever Plaid. Call for tickets today, 224-4222.
Last week when my daughter Brittany danced through our living room, I knew exactly who to call. Ritzy Clean got rid of those tough spots and stains while carefully moving and replacing my furniture. Ritzy Clean has courteous, professional technicians who made my carpets and upholstery look like new.
Now clean one room starting at just $9.95. One sofa or two chairs starting at just $29.95.
Look for this ad coming soon or check your yellow pages. Ritzy Clean, 639-0001.
I'd like to show you an all-natural lawn care product, Thatch Master. With spring application, Thatch Master reduces excess thatch without power detaching machines or old-fashioned raking. It uses a natural protein enzyme to gradually break down excess thatch so water and nutrients are more easily absorbed into the soil. Get your lawn ready for summer now with Thatch Master. It makes a tough job easier, naturally.
Thatch Master is available at Kmart, Frank, Sears, and Lindale Garden Center. Get yours today.
He was my husband, still is, and she was my mother.
How could my sister do this to me?
On the next Geraldo, stories of forbidden love, so outrageous, so unbelievable, so fascinating to you that we brought them back.
It was a hot, feisty thing, a drunk night, and they didn't know how to, stop it.
Now hear more about their incredible tales of passion and abuse. Forbidden Love, next Geraldo.
Wednesday at 3 on KARE-11.
Jonel's French Manicure. Quick and easy. White it and pink it for smoother, whiter tips and healthier looking nails. Treat yourself to a French manicure from Jonel.
Only Bausch & Lomb Moisture Drops contains 3 lubricants for unsurpassed relief of dry, itchy eyes. Money-saving coupons in Sunday newspapers from Bausch & Lomb, the eye care experts.
The Jazz Club here in L.A. is called?
Marla's Jazz Supper Club.
And tell everybody what you're doing. I love it.
Okay, we're getting ready to take the Jeffersons on tour as a play. Going to Detroit in April and then around the country. So if you want to see
the
it,
original cast, yes?
Yeah, the original cast.
I love it. Elena, what?
I have a movie coming out this summer called Going to Mexico, starring Danny Aiello.
And Elena Reed Hall.
Elena Reed Hall.
Judy, what?
My husband and I co-wrote and co-directed 3 plays we have running in Canada right now, and it's an ongoing thing. We're working for 2 theater companies up there doing all their writing and directing. So if you're in Canada...
And if anyone needs a messenger called Chase Couriers, you know, I mean, hey.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
It's been really fun talking to all of you. I hope you had a nice time. We love you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you. I'm Magnums. If you like what I'm wearing, kids, go get it there.
Next on Geraldo, a high school gym teacher married 2 of his students and had countless romantic affairs with others. Now charged with criminal misconduct, he defends his story. Stay tuned as Geraldo investigates student-teacher affairs next at 3. Later, it's You Bet Your Life at 4. Geraldo is next.